Alright guys, welcome back to the Armageddon Dota 2 Grand Slam of Asia. We are here with our next live match between Gangster of the Philippines and the Sri Lankan team, the Cave. Our first look at the Sri Lankan Dota team and our second look at a Filipino team. Earlier on today, we saw Pacific 2 go down. In fact, they lost to Team Awake from Thailand, but here we are, the other Filipino team in action. We've got Gangster up against the Cave. This is a round one action, the round of 16, although there's only 12 teams here in Singapore. It's essentially a round of 16 match. Whoever wins this goes on to a quarter-final match. And it's a double elimination bracket. So no one's being knocked out today at least. Everyone does have at least 2 lives in this tournament. But over $20,000 in sponsorship money as well as hardware from Armageddon up for grabs for the winners of this tournament. So a big thanks for them for putting on this event here in Singapore. For those of you in Singapore, come on down. We're at the Marina Bay Sands Convention Center in floor B2, and you'll find us pretty easily. Just follow the noise, follow the sounds of my voice, and you'll find yourself in front of the stage here where we've got some of the best sort of non-sponsored teams in Southeast Asia competing, and you're welcome to come out, check things out here in Singapore. For those of you guys on the live stream, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the Beyond the Summit stream as well as this Dota 2 tournament. We've got ourselves, well, for me, this is the first time I've ever seen some Sri Lankan Dota, so I'm excited. We've got the Sri Lankan team, the Cade, playing over on the Dire side. We've got Gangster over on the Radiant side. The Cade having themselves the first pick. They ban out the Darks here, Nyx Assassin, and then first pick themselves a Mag. Gangster, they ban out Keeper of the Light as well as Phantom Lancer, and grab up a Batrider Rubik duo. So pretty standard picks so far. Neither team looking to do anything too unconventional. And the next 2 picks come out from the Cave. We'll get to see a bit more where they want to go with their lineup. If they look to pick up a carry or at least something with a bit of late game potential, maybe they go for something like a Luna, an Anti-Mage, or something a bit different. Or do they look to go for a more well-rounded lineup? Pick up another solo hero, pick up some of their supports. Shadow Demon is there. Shadow Demon is going to get picked. All right. They're basically one of the most picked support heroes, and they go for a Lone Druid. So they pick up one of their carries, but it's a very sort of a niche carry. It's a good pushing hero. It does scale well to the late game, and it's also a strong laning hero. One of those heroes in a 1v1 matchup who really does well. He doesn't need support to help him out in lane. He can solo mid, he can be a solo in the safe lane, he can go to the off lane. A very versatile carry hero as far as his laning goes, because of the fact he doesn't have to have supports there. You can always send him with supports though. Gangster, well, they're Filipinos, so they're going to pick Templar Assassin. It goes without saying. There's your solo mid. There's your hero that's maybe going to be up against the Mag at mid lane. Maybe we even see it up against the Lone Druid, depending on how the Cade want to lane this Magnus. Do they send him to the off lane? Do they send him towards the mid lane? Second stage of bans now coming out. Both teams have got their first 3 picks as the Gangster Black over on the Radiant side. They're going to have to be careful about what can come their way from the Sri Lankan team. I imagine a team they know absolutely nothing about. I had not heard of this team until this tournament here, so it's great to see these sort of upcoming teams being given a shot to compete on the big scale. They got flown into Singapore by Armageddon, and here they are competing on land in Singapore against some of the sort of the best non-sponsored teams. Teams like Winter's New Team ABC, teams like First Departure from Singapore. A lot of strong contenders here in Singapore looking to sort of fight for that title, fight for that $20,000 in prize money, sponsorship gear, as well as all kinds of other cool swag that you can get here. As the last couple of bans coming on through now, we see Disruptor, Leshrac, support heroes for the most part being banned, as well as a Bane in fact. So I'm wondering what they're looking for with that Bane. Something maybe we look at seeing like a Lifestealer pick, because Bane is a nice little counter to that Lifestealer. Also, it's just a good counter to have for the Lone Druid. Enfeeble on the Bear, you've got Nightmare as well. You've got 2 great skills for dealing with the Spirit Bear. Then you've got the Fiend's Grip if you really want to focus down the Lone Druid in a team fight. Although generally you want to try to focus that on a hero which is sort of a more spellcaster type hero, or at least a hero who's doing damage himself. The Lone Druid himself doesn't do damage. You're probably not looking at using Fiend's Grip on the Spirit Bear. So most likely going to see the Nightmare as well as Enfeeble used to counter the Lone Druid if you picked him up, and then the Fiend's Grip on another hero. But that's enough of that. He's been banned out. We're seeing a Silencer ban as well. And for Gangster, they do need another support hero. We could be looking at a jungling support hero. Chen, Enchantress, Enigma, all these junglers still in the ban pool, or the hero pool I should be saying. At this point it is a ban pool because we're seeing what are they going to ban out. Naga Siren's the last ban coming from the Sri Lankan team. As now we get ourselves into our final ban of this match here in your winner bracket, round of 16. I believe we've got one more winner bracket round of 16 match coming your way after this. We've got ABC Winter's team up against, they're up against Neolution Indonesia. That's our last round of 16 match, and then we're looking at round of 8 matches. But for the time being, we'll see the last band coming up for Gangster. Then we get ourselves into our last couple of picks here. The Cade, they've got first grabs at what's left in the pool, so this is a key band. It's going to be a Queen of Pain. So they are worried about a potential solo mid Queen of Pain. The Mag can go in the off lane, of course, and that can open up the mid lane for a Queen of Pain, and that's something which can cause TA a few issues at mid lane, so they want to just ban it out. And there's your life stealer. I mentioned Fiend's Grip being a great counter life stealer. Well, that's maybe partly why they banned it out. It also does counter the Lone Druid, so banning out the Bane, well, it took out a hero which is great against both Lone Druid as well as life stealer. Fiend's Grip, great for life stealer. Enfeeble and Nightmare, great for the Lone Druid. So smart ban, and then they go into the life stealer. So it looks like we'll be seeing a Lone Druid in the side lane solo. Maybe we see offensive tri-lane. Shadow Demon, Lifestealer, with something like a Lina as an offensive tri-lane. You can put the Lone Druid as a solo in the safe lane, Mag towards the mid lane. It does work out well, and if they really want, if they want to give Lifestealer the uncontested farm, they can send him safe lane and run Lone Druid as an off-lane solo. So two real sort of obvious options here for the Cade. If they want to get really imaginative, they can actually send Lone Druid to the mid lane and send Magnus as an off-lane hero, but most likely I think we see Lone Druid in a side lane here. Enigma going to be the pickup for Gangster. They realize they need something to go through the rage of Lifestealer. Something to give them some team fight potential as well. They've got their early pickoff that you can get from a Batrider, but they need the team fight to pull it up, and that's going to come from a black hole of the Enigma here. And that's their fourth pick. They need one more hero, and probably looking at some sort of a carry here. They run the Batrider Batrider offlaner, Templar Assassin mid, Enigma in the jungle. They need something to combo with that Rubik as a farming hero. Unless we're looking at Templar Assassin being played as a main carry, which just does not seem likely here.
5 seconds remaining.
Alternatively, we could see Enigma in the offlane with Batrider as a jungle. That's sort of another sort of deviation they could go with this lineup, just to ensure that the offlane Batrider can be shut down, can be zoned out of the lane. So Enigma does a bit better there. You've got the conversion to deny the way back. You can be somewhat more guaranteed some farm, some XP. And Batrider, you want to get up the fast Blink Dagger. Whereas Enigma, Blink's great, but generally you go for a sort of a mech or a BKB type build, and you don't need the farm as desperately as a Batrider. Batrider, until you see the Blink Dagger up, can't really do a whole lot. So maybe we see Batrider head into the jungle where it can get some more guaranteed safe farm. Last pick now coming up for the Cade, though. I say coming up, we've got about a minute of reserve time left, so they can really think this one through, figure out all their options, but essentially we're looking at a support hero. Lina's the, I guess, the obvious sort of aggressive duo that you can put with a Shadow Demon, but they may look to go for a jungler. Chen still in the pool, as is Enchantress. If they really want to go for a strong ganking duo, the Chen Shadow Demon, something that LGD International love to run, could be a viable option for them here. As we do get ourselves into this last pick scenario for both teams here. They've also got to be worried about what can be coming their way as far as the carry goes. Ooh, Nature's Prophet. So they're getting a bit, I guess, more farm-oriented, a bit more even greedy, you could say. They're going to be running Nature's Prophet in the jungle, it looks like. And there's your carry. Faceless Void, last pick for Gangster. And with that, they've got their lanes pretty much set in stone, I'd say, with the Faceless Void, Rubik, dual lane, Templar Assassin at mid. I guess the only thing up in the air is who's playing the offlane. Is it Enigma or is it Batrider? Which goes to the jungle, which goes to the offlane? Both heroes capable of the offlane, both capable of jungling. For the Dire team, though, the Cade, they've got themselves a couple different options. It's going to be harder to go offensive tri-lane now because they haven't got really a tri-lane. They picked up a jungle here in the Nature's Prophet, so it looks like we'll see the Lone Druid playing as an offlane Lone Druid, or possibly even as a mid lane. We could be looking at Mag in the offlane, so they have got a couple different deviations themselves that they can do with this. For those of you on the live stream, I'll be introducing our teams and players. I can't say what lane they're going to. I can't reveal stuff happening in fog because this is a LAN tournament. The players can hear quite a bit of what's going on, what's being said over the PA system, which will sort of affect what can be said, what can actually be conveyed from myself onto the live stream, as we will see the two teams picking their heroes now. We've got on the Radiant side, the team from the Philippines, it's Team Gangster. We've got Heinrich playing the Templar Assassin. We've got the Enigma in the hands of Arcean. We've got the Batrider being played by Alice W311. We've got the Faceless Void in the hands of May. And then finally, playing the Rubik, it's Job. Over on the Dire side, the team coming from Sri Lanka. Big shout out to them. Great to see them competing in some Dota 2 tournaments, and Dota 2 growing all over Asia. We've got Paradox playing the Mag. We've got KOD, COD, playing the Shadow Demon. We've got TFC playing the Nature's Prophet. We've got Monkey playing the Lifestealer, and then finally we've got Demon playing the Lone Druid. As good luck, have fun is being called. The reconnect is there from Heinrich, the Templar Assassin. And we're going to give ourselves resuming in just a second now. And guys, for those of you just tuning in wondering, what am I watching? This is the Armaggeddon Dota 2 Asia Grand Slam held in Singapore. It's an offline event here. We've got teams from, I think, 8 or 9 different countries around Asia. 12 teams in total. As mentioned, some countries with 2 representatives, such as the Philippines. And we're going to see who comes out on top, who walks away with that first place prize. I believe through the top 3 placings, there's about $20,000 in prize money, sponsorship gear, as well as sponsorship contracts up for grabs between the top 3 teams. So a lot at stake here. As it looks like Gangster wanting to make sure they've got everything set in stone, make sure that they are ready to go. It is a lot at stake. And they're ready to go, as are the Cade. And we're going to have ourselves an unpause, and we'll have our lanes unravel here. Something which I can't reveal too much for a good minute and a half until we actually see the lanes, or the players see them, as mentioned. But the early game here before the creeps on both teams, I mean, your main objective is to try scout your opponent's lane and get up some early observer wards. Whether you look for some lane wards, or you look for maybe some creep pulling block wards. You want to block the creep pull if you're the Radiant team, or if you're the Dire team, you want to block this creep pull here. Then you want some lane wards if you're looking to go for a safe trial lane. Something like the bottom lane, where the Faceless Void is most likely going to be with the Rubik. You want to get a lane ward there. As we will be... Whoa! Something a bit unexpected here with these lanes, perhaps. Or maybe just a sort of early roam going out. As mentioned, this is the one real sort of place where there's a couple options for the Radiant team. Do they send Batrider jungle, or do they send Enigma jungle? And, well, here's your answer, guys. I won't say it, but you can see it. Faceless Void, well, very standard build, as well as items coming his way. Nothing out of the ordinary as far as the lanes go for him.
The battle begins.
Both teams just trying to do some scouting, and there's a lot of scouting possible when you're this Dire team. You've got Treants from the Nature's Prophet, as well as the Lone Druid Spirit Bear. You can really scout out these lanes, as well as try to find out what you're up against very early on. He does need to be careful with this Spirit Bear. It's going to try to pull the creep wave here. Just needs to be careful. If Rubik finds it, you can throw it onto this cliff, and then it's GG for your early game. I've seen it happen before. It can always happen again. And if Rubik, if he came over here, cut it off, he could lift onto this cliff here. He's not in position to do so, unfortunately. Rubik, what are you doing here? He's at bottom. He's trying to pull this creep wave, it looks like. Early Tango actually being used here, but Faceless Void, with this poor man's shield, gets himself some additional damage. Should be able to last down to his tower, but Lone Druid at bottom lane can get some farm of his own. So we're seeing the off lane Lone Druid up against the Void, as well as Rubik lane. Mid lane, we're looking at the Mag up against the TA. Heinrich versus Paradox. And then top lane, well, you've got your Nature's Prophet in the jungle, and then you've got your Enigma off lane up against the Shadow Demon Lifestealer. So Enigma just going to try to deny this wave back as much as possible, and that puts the Batrider into the jungle. So both teams running a jungle hero here. Oh, Shadow Demon. No follow-up damage, just a casual disruption. Lifestealer decides it's not the time to go in. Didn't actually have a point in open moves. Went for Feast at level 1, so without that slow, there's no possibility to go for that early kill here until we're looking at maybe level 2 on this Lifestealer. Enigma still denying his heart out. He's got himself a couple clarity. He's going to have to be using those up soon. Try to just get enough gold for a Soul Ring here in the top lane. But it's going to be hard for him to stay in this lane. Gangster, well, asking for a pause. It looks like it is okay. Gives me a time to catch my breath after that last epic game. For those of you who missed the last game between Hirosh and GoDz, well, definitely worth checking out. We had a 1 hour plus marathon game of just Raxus being taken on both sides, Wisp TPing all over the map, all kinds of ganks and counter ganks, traps being laid, counter traps to those traps, and it was just insane. Definitely worth checking out the last game between GoDz and Hirosh. And we'll see plenty more from both those two teams as we go into the bracket. As mentioned, this is just a winner bracket match. So for those of the teams who do lose these matches, they do go down to the loser bracket. They are still in the tournament. So not being knocked out here, as it looks like Gangster are ready to go. Looking over them, it looks like they're just doing a couple hotkey configuration switches, but the two teams now ready to go. You keep an eye on this mid lane. That's going to be one of those lanes where both heroes want to make sure they don't fall too far behind as far as farm goes. TA, you give a slight edge there too, especially if we're looking at a fast bottle, which we've got. Maybe even see some bottle crowing, and if not, if TA gets some runes, well, definitely it's a lane where TA can do well. Mag, he's gone for an eco build of his own. 3 branches and tangos. He wants to get his bottle out as fast as possible. Bottom lane, Lone Druid still trying to pull creep waves around. Rubik just harassing this Spirit Bear, getting it down pretty low here. The Stout Shield blocking some of that damage, but once again, Lone Druid will successfully get this pull off. Lone Druid level 2. Are we going to see the telekinesis onto the high cliff? It should be maybe what this Rubik looks to go for. Oh, he pulls it back earlier. Not going to go for the lift onto the cliff here. Top lane, Enigma, well, managing to stay sort of, well and truly alive. Hasn't taken much damage whatsoever. He's actually denied this creep wave back to his own tower, where he can farm it relatively safely, and this is good news for him. It means he doesn't have to worry about sort of adventuring too far in this lane, especially when there's a Nature's Prophet who can TP in. That's something which we can see at other lanes as well. Nature's Prophet TPing in, looking for some early ganks, looking to sort of get this Dire team on the board nice and early on. Mag, he's found himself the first. Whoa, looking for a skewer back. He wanted to bring the Templar Assassin in, especially with this haste rune up. If he gets that skewer in the tower, it could be looking at a kill there, especially with the Templar Assassin being very low on mana. It wasn't to be, though. At least not that time round. And holy bejeebers, that's a big neutral stack. Triple stack here for the Rubik, so he's looking to deny as much XP as possible from this Lone Druid. Lone Druid, scouting mission number 3. Sends out another Spirit Bear, looks to pull this creep wave to his tower. He's hit level 3, I believe. Yep. Level 3 is up. He's going to basically pull this next creep wave once again to his tower. So Demon on the Lone Druid, well, he's getting XP, he's getting some farm. Even if it's just 8 creep kills, that's 8 more than he would have otherwise had if he was just playing this offlane standard. Enigma top lane's had a bit of a better time here, sitting on 12 creep kills as well as the 5 denies. So all in all, the offlane goes slightly better for Gangster. A bit more levels, a bit more farm, and this is partly because of this Nature's Prophet jungle. Not a hero who can apply a whole lot of pressure. Oh, and then we've got this hero jungler as well, who's, I mean, similar story, but it's definitely a position where Batrider, he's not going to be ganking early on, but he's making a lot more of this jungle time, and that's what we're seeing here. Quickly gets himself up to almost level 5 here in the jungle. Mid lane, TA is actually taking a lot of damage. Forced to bottle crow, but there's nothing Pinoys love more than bottle crowing. There's Heinrich now. Heals himself up with that bottle. Mag's been the one getting most of these runes here. We're hoping for this 4-minute rune. Looks like it's already been snagged up. Rubik actually finds it here, and that's one of those great things. You have Mag sort of hoping to get a rune. TA doesn't have to worry about going through the runes. If the supports can control the runes and TA just bottle crow, then Mag gets put in a lot of trouble. This is going to force him to do just the same thing. His courier's back to base, his bottle no longer on him. Going to use that shockwave, use up all his mana, and basically just trade blows with the TA. TA is leading in farm, but it's kind of what you'd expect. Mag is doing his best to hold his own here. Oh, Enigma. That is not your tower, that is not your base, and that is first blood. Enigma goes down to the top lane. Nature's Prophet with a TP in, and it looks like Enigma was just cornered, forced to run back to his own tower. Well, May at the bottom lane is making sort of the best of this trade, getting some farm of his own. Oh, Batrider's actually swung top. Tranquil Boots up on him as well, sitting level 4. It looks like they may be going to rotate Enigma into the jungle now. Besides, this top lane could be where the Batrider can look to just farm. He does have the Firefly to fly off to the side. He can also get out of the Nature's Prophet Sprout. That's the key thing with Batrider going top. He can escape the Sprout. As Lifestealer, well, he's continuing to farm there. He's pretty much trading farm for farm with the Faceless Void. As well, with things going nice and quiet, let's take another look at that first blood, because that was definitely some high entertainment value. It's Enigma, well, I don't think he got mixed up there. I think he just got completely pincered in. Shadow Demon and Lifestealer just ran on him, and he's like, okay, I got to run backwards. Not going to happen. And there's that wonderful instant replay feature. It means we can catch all the moments, the good, the bad, and the funny. Not just once, but twice. Nature's Prophet still sitting in that jungle now. An early kill was enough for him. He didn't actually get an assist or a kill out of it. I think the TP just forced Enigma to run up. But for the time being, Nature's Prophet just going to make the best of having this empty jungle here. Enigma, as mentioned, gave up the top lane, gave it to the Batrider, who is now going to hit level 6. So we're seeing a level 6 Batrider, but having no Blink Dagger, he's unable to really look for too many kills, so look to get too aggressive here. But the beauty is he can't really be killed. At least not easily.
Radiant middle
With that said, we're looking at an engagement on top lane. Nature's Prophet, another TP in. You can't really Sprout this. This is the problem. The Sprout actually going to block off the Lifestealer. Oh, man. That Sprout almost saves the Batrider, but they get the kill anyways. The Cade find themselves up 2 kills to nothing very early on. The team from Sri Lanka, they strike first, they also strike second. They get themselves another kill the top lane. I mentioned Batrider's hard to gang, and that Sprout almost actually helped the Batrider. He got out of the Sprout with the Firefly, and the Sprout blocked off the Lifestealer from chasing. Lifestealer didn't have a Treant, didn't have a Tango or a Quelling Blade to actually get through. And we'll take, well, maybe we won't. Yep, we'll take another quick look at that kill at the top lane. This is really where, I mean, you can see how Batrider can almost get out of this gank. You've got the Sprout being used almost, I mean, it blocks off the Lifesteal from chasing, but it looks like the one Shadow Poison. He gets a second Shadow Poison, which is really the key deciding thing there. If that second Shadow Poison doesn't land, well, he can get out of there. He can get here, and then he just has to run down the 3. He can cut through using the Firefly and then come out. That's really where the Batrider, as an offlane hero, can really succeed well. Didn't work out there for Gangster, though, and the Shadow Demon was on the ball with those Shadow Poisons. Lifestealer does have this Midas up now, so he's got himself quite a bit of farm. Have to wait and see what he looks to go for. Probably just looking at a standard like we saw last game. Midas treads into something like an armor. Oh, I say last game. Last game we saw a Sanjin Yasha. Definitely by no means standard. Batrider, he's chasing. He wants this Lifestealer. First though is there from a Templar Assassin trap. They need to deal with these creeps. He's going to come out in just a second. He does do so now. Lasu is there. Can they burst him down fast enough? Monkey, it's going to be Arceum with a black hole. Catches out 2. Possibly even a 3rd. Mag gets caught out at the last second as well. He doesn't have an RP. It looks like RP already being used. The Cade, not really a fight they were hoping for. Great black hole coming out from Arceum. Sets his team up with 2 kills, and they're possibly looking at a 3rd. TFC goes down as well under his own tier 2 tower. Great rotation coming in from the Templar Assassin. Sets up 3 kills. Enigma, Arceum was there with a big black hole, and now the tier 1 top tower. Enigma finishes that off, and Enigma getting his team a couple kills as well as the tier 1 tower. Really nice rotation coming out from Gangster. They bring Templar Assassin, they bring Batrider as well as Enigma. So the jungle hero, the mid hero as well. The only hero they don't bring is this Faceless Void. They wanted to make sure they won that engagement. And they're buying space with Faceless Void, who now has himself, I mean, leading the farm. He's got himself a lot of farm at this point in lane. Gone for a Midas of his own, much like we saw on the Lifestealer. As top lane, Lifestealer popping his Midas, but it looks like the Radiant team are going to back things off, and we'll take another quick look at that engagement at top. This wonderful black hole catches out 2. Mag also goes walking into it. He skewers into it. Lifestealer ends up in it as well, so it ends up going from a 2-man black hole to a 4-man black hole, and well, the Templar Assassin is there to deal enough damage to get kill after kill for his team, and Gangster find themselves, well, getting 3 kills going their way after going down with a 2-kill deficit, possibly even looking for a 4th kill for themselves. It's Mag caught at mid lane. Skewer not going to keep him alive, and now 4-2 in the favor of Gangster, possibly looking at a tier 1 mid tower as well dropping.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Shadow Demon going to try stall this using the Shadow Poison, but there's really not much to be said unless the Sri Lankan team can bring in more backup. They need some kind of a team fight, and the team fight's only coming from Mag. When Mag is down, any team fight potential is gone. All they've really got is that RP. Lifestealer not having any sort of farm or items just yet. Nature's Prophet wants to go for a Midas of his own, and well, Shadow Demon, you got to be careful.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Mag is back, and
Dire's middle
he'll be looking to line up that RP. Nowhere near a Blink Dagger, of course, just 10 minutes in with his item build, but he can always use that skewer to engage. Although we've seen him often forced to use it just to defend himself, just to skewer his way out of there. And that's going to be a big pickup there for Gangster. As now, we'll see them maybe looking to get more aggressive. Lone Druid has had some time to sort of get some farm and sort of, I guess, stabilize at the bottom lane. Oh, I say that, but here comes the gank. Job with the Rubik. No mana actually to get himself out of this one, but it's not going to matter. May with the Faceless Void. The Chronosphere to set things up. Treads and Mice gives him the extra attack speed he knows, and he's got 3 points in the time lock, so it looked like he got a couple bashes in that Chronosphere, doing extra damage as well. And now it's Gangster finding themselves 5 kills to 2 up, and in from the side. Batrider is there. He's got a Blink Dagger, but he's got no mana for an ultimate. You have to see his skewer out. Does skewer, but he brings the TA with him. TA easy pick off. Batrider reveals his Blink Dagger. Didn't actually need the ultimate there. Well, could have used it, but they got the kill without it, but didn't actually have mana for it. As now Gangster going to just back things off. They get a kill, and then they go back to farming. Really smart decision making from them. They don't really waste too much time grouping up, investing everything into kills. If they get a kill, great. They take it, and then they go back to farming. They know they've got the late game covered with this Faceless Void. Not to mention the rest of their team. TA scales pretty well to the late game. You've got Batrider with an ultimate that's really great in late game, and the Enigma Black Hole, one of the best late game spells as well. So, all in all, it's a really good mid to late game composition from Gangster. The only thing where they struggle is going to be those team fights. As it looks like we'll take another quick look up at that pick-off at the mid lane here, where the blink in from Batrider didn't actually have mana for that lasso, but it did not matter. The Skewer brought the TA along, and one more right click coming from the TA was enough to seal the deal. And TA wants to keep on getting more aggressive. We're not actually looking at a Blink Dagger build. Decides the lockdown from a Black Hole as well as Chronosphere. I mean, every hero with lockdown is going to be enough. He's going for a Yasha build, and he finds the Nature's Prophet, needs to just TP out, but not going to TP out fast enough. Another easy kill going the way of Templar Assassin. And things suddenly taking a turn for the worse here for the Cade. Whoa, big jump up going the way of the Radiant team as far as gold difference goes. And without a Blink Dagger on this mag, they just don't have the teamfight ability. It's really the only engagement they can really have. Mag with a Blink ultimate. Skewer ultimate can come, but it's just too hard. And Faceless Void. He's gone in on the backlines. There's minus armor coming from the Templar Assassin as well. Faceless Void should be a kill here with the Mask of Madness build. Stacking all that attack speed. Midas, Trez, Mask of Madness, and gets himself a kill on the Lone Druid once again. Lone Druid, I believe, second death, not his third. And now we have Rubik at the mid lane, getting himself some XP and farm. Enigma. I mentioned not likely to go for a Blink Dagger. Well, that's exactly what we're seeing. A non-Blink Dagger build. Going for the mech here. Batrider's actually found the life steal here. Mag will get up an ultimate, but it's not going to really do enough damage here. Templar Assassin gets caught up by a dust, but he's just going to turn around and fight now. Going to bring down this Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet does not stand a chance, and Black Hole is there. Catches two. Nature's Prophet goes down, as does the Life Stealer. And it's 3 dead for the Dire team. They get a Rubik out of it, but it's a 3-for-1 trade. Definitely not favorable for them as Gangster. They find another big trade. And they're just getting more and more space to farm. Faceless Void just free farming away at the bottom lane. And all in all, things looking very good here. If they can get some more towers here, especially this tier 1 bottom tower, they'll start to really start pulling away. Lone Druid resorting to basically giving up this bottom lane, farming his own jungle. He realizes there's not much to be done against this bottom lane. Faceless Void just has too much killing potential with this attack speed build. The Mask of Madness is, basically built around getting aggressive early. We've seen him just use Chronosphere for these solo kills and possibly going to look to do so whenever possible. Who's going to contest him for farm? And it looks like, well, a new contender is going down towards the bottom lane, but it may be too late. May trying to bring down this tier 1 tower as fast as possible. TP coming in. It's going to be from the mag. Not going to do enough. It's going to be a tier 1 tower going the way of the Faceless Void. More gold into his pockets. And well, there's your perseverance. The making of a Battle Fury. Top lane, Templar Assassin Enigma. They're looking for this Lone Druid. TP coming in from Shadow Demon. Going to try basically keep this Lone Druid alive. And now, Disruption stolen. 2 disruptions on the playing field. Shadow Demon. He cannot get away from this Templar Assassin. Templar Assassin brings him down, and Templar Assassin scurries back into the enemy jungle. Going to deal with some creeps here. Batrider Lasso finds the mag. Can nag up an RP. It's on cooldown still. Skewers away, but problem is there's a Flame Break to chase him down, and also the Flame Breaker to throw Lone Druid back in. Lone Druid brought down as well. One by one they all fall down. They're just dropping like flies right now. The Sri Lankan team who got off to such a great start. They were up 2 early kills, but Gangster have struck back in a big way here. 14-3 kill score now. As Gangster getting a lot of farm on some of these heroes. Faceless Void as well as Templar Assassin. TA's been involved in kills as well as got decent farm, but Faceless Void just with a ton of farm to his name. We're looking at Treads, Midas, Mask of Madness, and possibly a Battle Fury around sort of the 18-19 minute mark. And well, Batrider, he's got this Staff of Wizardry, most likely going to be looking for a 4-staff here. And well, we'll take another look at that last team fight as the retreat is now on. As things have sort of died down. Here we go. This is really just, it was all that Flame Break from the Batrider. One Flame Break, finished off the mag, and then brought the Lone Druid back into the middle of the fight. Faceless Void does need to be careful. There is a mag in his lane at bottom. Backup is there in the form of the Lone Druid, but they just don't have the lockdown to bring him down. Faceless Void just going to go time walking in. It's actually top lane where they find a kill on the Shadow Demon. I think Faceless Void getting a bit ahead of himself there. Didn't actually have mana for a Chronosphere, nor do you like him enough damage. It's actually top lane though. You need to keep a track on this Templar Assassin because that's where all the kills are falling. They've taken down Lifesteal. They'll get the Nature's Prophet as well, and well, with that, Templar Assassin now up to 2k gold. Looking at a Desolator very, very soon, I imagine. Maybe a BKB build with this Mithril Hammer, but I can only imagine that. Gangster, they want to get aggressive. They just want to keep on applying pressure here, and they're doing so in the top lane there. 17-3 now. We've had two epic close 60-minute games here, but Gangster's starting to pull away in what looks to be maybe our first slightly one-sided game, although by no means are the Cade out of this. But they can just hold their tier 3 towers here. They'll be looking in a much better position, but right now it's looking like it's going to be hard to do so. Tier 2 tower going to take a fall, also going to Templar Assassin, so whatever he wants to go for, well, it's now up. And there's your answer to those of you watching on the stream. Oh, Faceless Void. Caught out at bottom lane. He was just being a bit too cocky. Didn't actually have the mana for a Time Walk. And the Shadow Demon coming in. The Purge can offer the slow. Lane Ward going down, but I think it was actually spotted out. COD needs to be careful here at this bottom lane. Playing very, very aggressive. They want to go more. They want to keep on pushing at this bottom lane. They've grouped up as 4. The Cade trying to apply more pressure at this bottom lane. Nature's Prophet TP's in, and it looks like we're seeing a 5-man rotation bottom coming from this Dire team. Can the Radiant defend this? Faceless Void not there. He's dead for another 15 seconds. He's out of the picture. It's all up to the Templar Assassin. When it's all up to the Templar Assassin, I think TA says no problem. I've got a Desolator. I can do a ton of burst damage. No Blink Dagger up, so he doesn't have the initiation, but does have any hero who catches nearby him. Catch him with a slow, just walk up to him with the movement speed from Phase Boots and your Yasha, and then they get brought down very, very quickly. Oh no. Lone Druid now. It's Templar Assassin who's found him. 1 meld attack brings him down low. 4 hits is all that's needed. Lone Druid gets brought down with just 4 auto attacks from a Templar Assassin. 1 meld and then 2 attacks to follow. And that's a Lone Druid at about 1500 HP. And now the push is on bottom lane. Wow, Faceless Void takes on Magnus and comes out on top of top lane. Gets himself closer to that Battle Fury of his. Also gets himself very, very low on HP. But if his team can take out this tier 2 bottom tower, this is Battle Fury almost completed. And it looks like they're going to do just that. The Desolator can help bring this tower down even faster. Offers that minus armor. And TA times the last hit perfectly. Now up to 1600 gold. And the push, it looks like they're even going to pressure this tier 3. Mag on the side lanes, RP on cooldown. Gangster not wasting any time. The conversions are there giving extra damage. Batrider looking for a pickoff. Just going to Firefly in. Also helps bring down this creep wave a bit faster. And there's nothing this Dire side can do to defend. The tier 3 tower getting down to half HP now. Desolator damage making it just so easy to push. Makes these towers so much squishier having that minus 6 armor. Finally, Magus Stack can provide some shockwave spam, but there's still no RP up. Even Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet ultimate on cooldown. Mech still not completed as well. Ended up not going for the Midas. Decided his team needed the mech even more. Oh, Templar Assassin does get disrupted on the front lines. And, oh, Lasso. They've caught out Shadow Demon. Easy, easy pick-off going the way of Ali. And they want to just keep on scouting things out here with the Batrider. Batrider needs to be careful. Doesn't have the Lasso up anymore, of course. Forced up on cooldown as well. And, well, the man himself, the Faceless Void, the man with no face, he's showing up. And he's showing up with a Battle Fury. Ready to seal the deal. It looks like they've had enough. 20 minutes in, they want to go for this tier 3 tower. Try even get themselves a rack here. That Spirit Bear just goes obliterated. The Desolator, the meld damage as well. And well, Chronosphere just being used on a Soul Lifestealer. Enigma on the back line. 4-man Black Hole. Arcene is there with the good. Shockwave gets stolen. Hits all 4 as well. And it looks like they're just going to drop one by one. Absolute obliteration. Magnus will survive with about 200 HP. But what a convincing team fight going the way of the Radiant team, Gangster. And at 20 minutes in, there's your GG call. The Cade gets completely manhandled here towards the end. As said, they had a good start. They had the first 2 kills on the top lane. They killed Enigma twice early on. Or, sorry, they killed Enigma once and then they killed Batrider once. But in the end, it just wasn't enough. Gangster, they come out on top. And well, they're going to advance to the winner bracket quarterfinals here, where they await their next opponent, and it just took him 21 minutes, quick fashion, to take down the Sri Lankan team, who looked like they had decent lanes. it just really fell apart once the team fights in the mid-game started happening, and not just a 21-minute GG, a 21-minute drone destruction. So Gangster, well, they do so convincingly. Everyone tuning in, this is the Armageddon Dota 2 Asia Grand Slam held in Singapore. The grand finals here at the Marina Bay Sands Convention Center. So come on down if you're in Singapore. If you're not, keep on watching on the live stream. Big shout out, big thanks to all our sponsors, especially Armageddon for putting this on, as well as Rapture for doing the production for the live stream. I'm GoDz from Beyond the Summit. This has been the Armageddon Dota 2 Asia Grand Slam, and we've got plenty more action coming your way soon. Next up is Team ABC, Winter's team up against Neolution Indonesia. So be sure to stay tuned, guys. More Dota 2 action coming your way soon.